thing on? Mic check. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Yeah. Should you practice art? Or should art be your practice? I had a question, so I asked it. Not to anyone specifically, but to my inner God, you know? The one that's gonna be a master. The one that's more than a rapper. The one that's an educator. The one that seeks enlightenment. He travels with concepts. He's got the mindset expansive. He understands that his time combined with travel and concepts makes his mind convex. Sort of like when you look at a brain scan.
Reggie here, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This show that you are watching and possibly listening to right now is Comics Today. This is a show that we do on Wednesday to celebrate the best day of the week, that being New Comic Book Day. And as part of this show, we talk about news and current events, things that are top of mind for me and might also be top of mind for you. And tonight we're going to talk about a few controversial topics, some of which I've spoken about recently in some reels. At least one is a new controversial topic. Well, new, I've spoken about it in the past, and we're going to revisit it tonight with a little bit of an update. But we're also going to have a guest on that is going to spend a little bit of time talking with us about something that is happening in the comic book community. So above all else, fingers crossed, we will have a good time, controversial topics or not. And I definitely want to encourage people to sound off in the live stream right now, and also in the comments if you have thoughts on the topics that we are going to dig into tonight. Again, because this is a celebration of New Comic Book Day, in a moment, I'm going to go to the chat to figure out what it is that you may have picked up at your LCS earlier today. So if you picked up something and you want to let people know about it, go ahead, throw the list up. If you want to shout out your LCS, do that. If you read a book today that is a good book that you think we should put on the top of our reading stacks, I want to know about that. If you picked up a book recently that is not a new book, but is a new to you book, allow us to live vicariously through you spending some money. And if you are listening to this back on the replay, go ahead and do the same. Shout out in the comment section what you may have picked up, what you've actually read, what it is that you've actually enjoyed. Part of the reason why we do this is to push back on the false narrative that there are no good comics that are coming out right now. I believe that that is false. I think that you, like every other time, have to find the good books. Maybe it's a little harder now to find the good books, but the good books are out there. And again, I'm definitely encouraging people to sound off in the comment section and in the live stream to let us know what good books you may have picked up recently. So I'm going to go to the chat in a moment to see what it is that you guys picked up. But right now, I want to announce the winner of the ShortBoxed $100 credit. Every single month, I release at least one video from the folks at ShortBoxed where I give you an opportunity to get a $100 credit simply for leaving a substantive comment behind on that video. And a substantive comment is something that is more than first, where you're like, first, I got the first comment. Yeah, that is not substantive. So we're looking for a little bit more than that. And so this month, we are going to announce this guy right here, Nosh. Nosh is the winner of the $100 credit over at ShortBoxed. This allows him to head over to the app and to plug in this code that I'll be sending him via email to save himself $100 on a graded book or raw books purchased through the ShortBoxed app. Huge shout out to them for being a long-term sponsor of the channel. I am very appreciative of their support and them putting me in a position to be able to give away $100 every single month to one lucky subscriber of the channel that simply takes the time to watch a video and leave a comment behind it. I can tell you for a fact, Nosh doesn't come to the live streams, but Nosh watches just about every video on the channel. And I know it because he's leaving comments on just about every video. And to him, we are appreciative. And I'm very glad that he is the winner this month of that $100 credit. So shout out to him. All right, let me go to the chat real quick to see what it is that you guys may have picked up. What is that? I agree. if there weren't any good books, companies wouldn't stay in business. I do not disagree with that. There are some companies that have gone out of business that have filed for Chapter 11, but still, there are some good books out there. You just have to find them. Jason says, I got the foil copy of Marcus this week. Jason, thank you, brother, for supporting the project here, and thank you for picking up a copy of Marcus issue number 1, the foil. The foil, brother, I had this vision in my mind of what that foil should look like, and it came back better than what I expected. It was really well done. So shout out to Scott for putting the artwork together, and shout out to Chase for creating the artwork. So Scott does, who is the writer, does the layouts for the books, and so he had to do some layering of Chase's artwork to make it work, and it turned out incredibly well. So huge shout out to him. And again, Jason, thank you for picking that up. My Canadian brother Mark says Dark Spaces Dungeon 1, Edenwood number 1, Dracula number 1, Destiny's Gate, Alpha Flight 3. That's what's up. I need to read Alpha Flight 3. I've been enjoying that run. Conan the Barbarian number 4. He's picked up a lot of books. Shout out to you, brother. Rush, how you doing? It's good to see you. Oh, the Canadians are on deck right now. Big day from CGC, Batman 227. Ooh, that is, ooh. Today was a good day for you, Rush. That's a dope book, brother. Congrats. Batman 227, 8.5. Amazing Spider-Man 129, 9.6. Hero for Hire 1, 9.6. All blue labels. That is fantastic. That is fantastic, brother. Congrats to you. I'm guessing Red Nails Comics. Is that where you bought the books from, or who did the pressing? Does not matter. Today was a good day in Canada for my man Rush. Feel free to donate one of those books to the channel. We welcome donations of high grade, high value slabs. So shout out to you. Kenny the Collector, how you doing, brother? Today I received ASM number 35, the 1 in 25 Gleason. He picked up X-Men 27 and Sheena, Queen of the Jungle number 2. Not a new book, but a new to him book. Congrats to you, brother. Trev the Shipping Guru is on deck. Superman, Wonder Woman, Power Girl, and is that all DC? That's all good, Trev. Congrats to you, brother. Trev, did I see a photo of you earlier today floating around social media, like a headshot that someone drew? Well, I only glanced at it. I was super busy today. My man Amir, how you doing, brother? 1 in 100 podcast. Reading Void Rivals right now. I'm really enjoying this series, as am I, brother. I will tell you, Void Rivals, Transformers, enjoying both. Looking forward to getting Cobra Commander. Can't wait to read Cobra Commander. I've never read Transformers and G.I. Joe as a comic in real time, so I am pumped. I am pumped to read those three together. I'm super excited about that. Hydrus, how you doing? Went to LCS. His comic shop is Nirvana, as is mine. Picked up a decent stack, but haven't had the time to read them yet. What is that? Gone by Jack, which is great. Highly recommend. Going to read Edenwood and the new Gunslinger Spawn. There you go. Later. That's what's up. I hope that you enjoy it. Let us know what the good word is after you have a chance to do that. Fred is on deck. He says, fantastic 449. Enough said. Indeed, sir. Indeed. Not a new book, but a new book to you. We are living vicariously. We are living vicariously. Anthony, welcome to the live stream, brother. He picked up Alpha Flight, Star Wars, ASM, and around $80 more. Anthony, your LCS loves you. There is no doubt about that. Man, Trev, you see him? He was 9.6 that, 9.6 that. You got to love it, man. You got to love it. Herman is up in here. How you doing, brother? Today's pickups, Void Rivals, Gone, Alpha Flight, and ASM. That's what's up. All good books, no doubt about it. Nirvana is a good shop. I enjoyed my time there, and they take pretty good care of me. Matt, there you go. Madam Blaster is sculpting my head on November 5th. That makes me very uncomfortable. I'll just be completely honest with you. Just all kinds of discomfort with that. What is that? Planet says Transformers 1 was excellent. They were I feel like they were maybe a little worried about Transformers 1. If you take a look at Transformers 1, there's some stuff that happens, right? And And I think they were a little worried about that, but I have not read a single negative comment about Transformers 1. I'm confident that those comments are out there, or those feelings are out there, but I have not seen them. People seem to be enjoying Transformers, which I think is really good. Fat Dad, how you doing, brother? Says, missed you at the con. Yeah, well, sorry, brother. Sorry. I'm gonna tell you, I'm still trying to dig myself out of the hole that was dug. I right before New York Comic Con, I was doing a series of interviews. I had 11 total interviews in the days leading up to New York Comic Con for probably the biggest position of my career. So I had interviews with the CEO, the CFO, the general counsel, the chief of people, the chief scientist, the chief of medicine. If there was a chief or a senior person in the organization, I had a conversation with them, so much so that after certain interviews, I had to take power naps because I was on the struggle bus. When you are channeling that much intellectual horsepower, it takes a toll, man. So I had to take some naps, but so I was wiped out from that, then had to go to the con, which wiped me out. And then when you get back, you know that you are under the gun, especially if you have a family. So you're digging out of just so much stuff when you finally return. I'm just now starting to feel a little bit better. Moving up in the ranks. Brother, I'm pretty high in the ranks. Pretty high in the ranks. Yeah, I am. Very thankful for all of the opportunities that are afforded me through the work, man. It's work, man. I mean, I have people people that come here to the house, and oftentimes like the Amazon drivers are, ask me what I do, and I'm like, I work. At the end of the day, I work, and I'm very thankful for the things that my work affords me, Oh, I did. Fat Dad, thank you, brother. I did get the position. I signed the nap. I signed the nap. Seth is like, don't forget bad naps. Are you good? I did get the position. I signed the paperwork. We are official. We are official. Kill Your Darlings. I think it was Mark, my Canadian brother, and at least one other person recommended this book to me. I received multiple copies of this from the folks over at Skybound, and I gave a lot of copies away, but I kept this one. This one was damaged. It was damaged, and I kept it, and I'm glad that I did because I finally read it. It is good. It is different. It is good. If you want to read a good comic, this is not a bad way to go. I read it and I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading issue number 2. I did not know what to expect from this one. I'll be completely honest from that title, but I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed this one. I also read Superior Spider-Man Returns issue number 1. We had a lot of discussions about that leading into the release of this one. From Dan, I think it was Dan Slott. I read it and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Superior Spider-Man issue number 1. I cannot wait for issue number 2. I picked up, according to my order that was submitted, I'm trying to get a couple of the variants because I enjoyed it. And there was this whole conversation about where are they going to go with this story? Are they going to somehow continue the story that was being told? Are they going to retell the story in a different way? I don't want to ruin it for people. But if you like Spider-Man, if you enjoy the original Superior Spider-Man, I think that this is a good story to read. I was not blown away by it the way that I was Superior Spider-Man, but we're also only in one issue, so time will tell whether it is as good. So far, so good. Get a chance. If you get a chance, check it out. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Another comment. Another thing. GarageCon, November 11th. It is coming up in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. If you are interested in attending, go to regiecollects.com, click on GarageCon. There's details there. There's a registration there. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Instagram or email, and I will attempt to help you as best I can. It's coming off of a story arc that was happening in the current ASM. Is that a question or a statement? Milt is up in here. It's good to see you. All right, so we are going to move forward in the show. And again, huge shout out to everybody that is here in the live stream right now. Again, if you came in a little late, if you picked up some books, Shout out your LCS. Let us know what you picked up. If you read something that was good, let us know what you read so that we can put it on the top of our reading stacks. With that said, I want to make a transition. I had a guest on recently, and we spoke about a thing that was an event, multi-part event that was happening in the comic book community to raise funds for cancer. And I wanted to have this guy back on the show to give us an update as to where things are at present. I had a chance to see him at New York Comic Con. I was like, bro, we need to get you back on the show. And so he and I both were still under the bus last week after New York Comic Con. So we were like, let's just push to this week. But with that said, I want to welcome to the show my man, DJ Linx. It is good to see you, brother. How are things?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me. I still have tire marks from that bus all over like my body. New York Comic Con took it out of me, man.
It's brutal, brother. I took another nap today.
Yeah, so it was at New York Comic Con, and then I fell under the weather, so it was just it was a crazy week for me. Thank you for having me back. It was a pleasure meeting you in person.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. I took my nap today, brother, because my wife looked at me and she was like, "Hey, now that you're feeling better, can you grind some more stumps in the backyard?" So I was grinding stumps, and then she cracked on me, told me I took a 2-hour nap. It was only like an hour, right? But I needed it. Then she looked at me after the nap. She was like, "So are you recharged for your show tonight?" I'm like, "I can't win with you, woman. Can't win." But it was a pleasure to meet you in person as well. But to the task at hand,
yes, sir.
C3, Comics Curing Cancer. Where are we right now with that fundraising effort?
Yeah, thank you. So we wrapped up the 3-day event. Comics Curing Cancer is year-round, but the 3-day event wrapped up on Sunday. We raised a grand total. I like to say the goal that we had first, so that the total just hits that much harder. Our goal was $25,000. We raised, as of right now, a total of $51,180, which is absolutely astounding.
That's bananas.
Crazy. I didn't think we would get to that number. I knew we would get to a high number, maybe 35. That's what I thought we were going to do, 35. But to hit that 50 and cross that 50 line, it was a humbling experience, to say the least.
That's amazing, brother. So what were those funds raised from just that 3-day event, or was it all of the activities? Because I felt like there were a lot of live streams. There was a variant that I heard about. There seemed to be a lot of activity. So is that the culmination of all of those activities, or just that 3-day event?
So it's all the activity. So it starts at in January. So Rob Fat Stacks of Comics, he donates his channel revenue to C3. So every month he's putting something in the bank there. And then with the exclusive, that was one of the big components to it as well. I did my first Whatnot stream last Wednesday. All my New York Comic Con stuff, I was like, you know what? Let me just put it up there, get some people. I know some people in the sneaker category of Whatnot, get them to come in and do some stuff. So on Whatnot that Wednesday, I raised, before fees and stuff, I raised $5,200.
Wow.
And after fees, that all went to Comics Curing Cancer. The exclusive brought in $1,300 off the website, the DJ Linx website. And then there were some sold at New York Comic Con. I'm still waiting for those funds to come in from the Comic Mint. They sold some in person there. So we'll probably end up at like 54, 55 before all is said and done.
That's amazing. That is a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
You and Rob and everyone else should be, just proud of what you've done. And I'm going to have you do some shout outs here a little bit later. But DJ, talk with me a little bit about the $51,180 and counting.
Yeah.
Where is that money going?
So that money is going to the American Cancer Society. As I mentioned before, C3 is an official partner of the American Cancer Society. They recognize our efforts from year one and was just like, yo, we need to bring you into the fold. And we obliged, right? And it's just like so overwhelming for them to just see the efforts that we did in year one, which is $8,000, year two, $23,000, and now $51,000. We need a spotlight in the American Cancer Society newsletter or something.
All the comic nerds donating money. I mean, they're going to expect like $100,000 next year. So just get ready, brother. Cause I mean, the expectation is probably there. But I'm confident that regardless of the amount, they are appreciative of the effort and the donation, because as we spoke about before, I don't know of a single person that is untouched by cancer. I literally this week had a friend send me a message.
Wow.
Her message was, I got my lab results back and I'm okay. She had a scare about 2 years ago. And when I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago around New York Comic Con, she indicated that she went back, had some tests because things didn't look right.
Yeah.
She sent me the message this week. She's clear. Super thankful for that. But then just this week, Richard Roundtree, right?
Yeah.
Pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
It is an evil disease, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. It's terrible. It's touched everyone. And since you shared a personal story, I'll share one too. My sister just, I think it was Friday. I was at New York Comic Con, so it had to be either Thursday or Friday, whatever it was.
Yeah.
She had just got her biopsy results and she was clear. And it was a big scare for us because, as I mentioned, my mom passed of cancer.
Yep.
So it runs in our family. My grandfather passed of cancer, and my sister was, thank God that her biopsy results came in clean.
Scary stuff, bro. Like, it's just scary. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you have to do everything that you can to try to keep yourself as healthy as possible. There is stuff that runs in families because I have it in my family, right? And it's like, I don't want to help that, right, along. I want to do what I can to push against that genetic, whatever it is that runs in the family. So again, man, if you have cancer in your family, go get tested. None of us like going to the doctor. And I work in the healthcare industry. I don't want to go to the doctor, but because cancer scares everything out of me, I still go do screenings and all of those tests. And I absolutely hate it, but I hate cancer more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad your sister is doing well, brother. Talk with me a little bit about some of the people that helped you and Rob raise the 51,000 and counting. Who are all those people that you may want to shout out that contributed to this number being raised?
Absolutely. Thank you. And I'm not going to shout everybody out because I'm sure I'll miss somebody and then I'll hear it later. But Rob Fat Stacks of Comics and Mark from Legion of Comics, we could not do it without, they're my partners in crime. We call ourselves a three-headed monster. We could not do it. And there's a lot of things that happen on the back end. We met leading up to C3 for 3 months every Thursday at 9 p.m. So we met, it was strategically planned out just to get everything, all our ducks in a row and make sure it was the best process as possible. Because at the end of the day, not only is it a fundraiser, there are entertainment elements as well, telethon style elements, and then the auction elements, and then bringing in physical donations of items, comic books, slabs, original art. So we definitely strategized about that a lot. Big shout out to the Comic Mint. The Comic Mint donated the production costs for that exclusive Unnatural Order, which I'm waiting for more copies to come in, the leftovers from New York Comic Con, and those will go up on DJ Linx at bigcartel.com. Big shout out to Matt Wilson for donating the art. Big shout out to Big Time Collectibles. Big Time Collectibles is a comic book retailer located in Texas. They donated 25 slabs to the cause. Some were put up for auction, some were put up on the prize wheel, but 25 slabs. And I spoke to Nelson. You were actually right next to Nelson at New York Comic Con, booth neighbors. And he wanted to get involved like from the outset. So big shout out to Big Time Collectibles. I'm going to just also shout out our top 3 donors off the top of my head. So excuse me if I make a mistake, but big shout out to Austin LeMay, Hoarder's Hide, and Sleepy Readers 666, who donated, I think they were the top 3 spots or in the top 5 for Comics Curing Cancer. Not only did Austin LeMay donate his money, right, picking up a bunch of stuff, he was on several shows doing original art as well, doing commissions and things like that. So big shout out to Austin LeMay, Scott from Hoarder's Hide, and Sleepy Reader 666, and everybody else that participated in C3, everybody that spent money, everybody that spread the word, that forwarded a story on Instagram. Everything counts, and that's why we got to our goal and surpassed it by more than double.
What's crazy is, brothers, I'm confident that each one of those people you just named could probably tell a personal story as well, because cancer has touched everybody, and it is a no-brainer to be like, here, what do you need? Okay, let's do it, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer. Is it too late for people that want to contribute, or has the ship sailed? What's the thought there?
No, people can still contribute. The portal is open year round. It's just the 3-day event C3 that happens in October. But the portal is open up until December 31st, and then that number resets. So if you go on Instagram and follow Comics Curing Cancer, in the bio there's a link tree, and in that link tree that'll take you to the portal to donate.
There you go. And I see a few people asking that very question in the comment section. People, I know what I'm doing when I'm doing an interview. I have a plan. but the point here is that it is not too late. Rob Fat Stacks is donating, which is unbelievable. The proceeds from his channel, which I think is incredible to do. It is not too late to donate. You can head over to the Instagram. What was it? Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram. There's a link in the link tree to go ahead and donate or participate. I'm guessing there's a ton of information on your Instagram and Rob's Instagram. So there's no shortage of ways to get involved. There is still time. DJ, I want to thank you, brother, for being part of the three-headed monster, for coming on a couple of times to talk about this, and just for all of the work that you guys are doing. It is such a worthy cause, and the amount of money you guys raised is phenomenal. So you all should be very proud of not just having the idea, but putting a plan in place and then absolutely destroying the goal that you all set for yourself. You guys should be very proud of that. And again, I'm very pleased that your sister is okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you offering up your platform for us to spread the word. Our word is can only go as far as the people that we surround ourselves with. And I thank you immensely for helping us leverage your platform to spread the word even more.
It's a no-brainer, brother.
Yes.
Like, again, it's a no-brainer. I have a feeling that this will not be the last time that we talk about C3 on the channel. If you need stuff, let me know. Sometimes things get past me, right? But don't hesitate to ever reach out for a good cause. I'm always happy to make things available. I'm also super jealous of the statues that you have in the background there. Some dope stuff back there, brother. Anyway, it is good to see you again. It was a pleasure to meet you in person. And like I said, if there's something you need, don't hesitate to reach out, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. Have a good one. And congrats on Marcus.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Take care, brother.
Peace.
$51,180 and counting against a goal of $25,000. That is incredible. Every single person that donated money or was anyway affiliated with C3 should be very proud of themselves. And as I said, we all have some crazy stories that can be told about cancer. I don't know a single person that has been unaffected by this disease. And so I applaud those gentlemen for making that magic happen. And because it's one thing to have an idea, to say you want to do something. It's another to actually put a plan in place and execute that plan year after year after year and do it better every single time. That is impressive. Hats off to the three-headed monster for making that magic happen. All right. So again, huge shout out to my man Nosh, who is the winner of this month's $100 credit from the folks over at ShortBoxed. He put up this comment on one of the videos, and we awarded him the $100 credit. I'll be reaching out to him tonight to give him the good news, because he may not see this for a few days, because he works extremely hard and he tends to see things days after they are released. So I will reach out to him soon. But it is going down. All right. So let's talk about some controversial topics. I have been holding off just a little bit on talking about this because there did not seem to be any kind of developments or advancements in this situation. But there was recently an update. This is on Variety. Jonathan Majors' assault trial is set for November 29th after a judge denies a motion to dismiss the case. The defense attorneys put together a proposal to basically dismiss all of the charges for Jonathan Majors. The prosecutor wrote a 119-page response to that motion that was filed. And clearly, the judge did not rule in Jonathan's favor. It appears that things are now moving forward. The new trial date is November 29th. And it says Jonathan Majors will face trial on domestic abuse charges after a New York judge denied the motion to dismiss the case. The trial date is set to begin on November 29th. Majors appeared on Wednesday morning in a lower Manhattan courtroom via Zoom because he's out of state. During the hearing, his defense attorney filed a motion to request that contested evidence remain under seal and barred from public view until the high-profile nature of the case and allegations against Jonathan Majors. The defense attorney basically said that he believes that if this information, the disclosure of the sensitive information is out there, it will limit his ability to receive a fair trial. The judge did not rule on that motion to keep that stuff under lock and seal. He's actually, I'm guessing, going to render a decision on that soon, but he did give the reporters an opportunity to file, I guess, papers to get access to that information by November 6th. Trials moving forward. They're trying to keep some things under wraps now, and it's to be determined whether any of that information gets out there. Here's what I will say about this. A lot of accusations have been made about this case, even in the days leading up to this announcement being made about what the defense attorneys have said publicly and how they're trying to sway public opinion by saying certain things and getting certain things to happen. I don't know the truth of this case. None of us do. My feeling is that around November 29th or shortly thereafter, a lot of the details of this will come out. I personally have a low thresholds for any guy that puts his hand on a woman. So if he is indeed guilty of assaulting this woman, he should serve every single moment of his time, and he could get sentenced to a year in jail if he is indeed found guilty of this assault. So hopefully, he receives that fair trial. Hopefully the details come out. If he is innocent, fingers crossed that he is proven innocent, and if he is guilty, put on the stripes or the orange jumpsuit and off to jail you go. All right, so that is the first controversial topic that I wanted to talk about. What is that? Summary judgment motions are typical and almost required by defendants at any trial, as are denials by the judge who finds that facts are in dispute. There you go. They made the comment here, Joe, about them writing. Oh, I got it wrong. It says the district attorney's office filed a 150-page response to the motion to dismiss the case. That seems like a lot. And I do believe that motions are typically like double spaced or something like that, but still 115 pages is a lot. They clearly, the prosecutor clearly had a lot to say, and I'm guessing a lot of evidence that they wanted to put out there for the judge to consider to prevent him from actually dismissing this case, which may say a lot. Maybe it says a lot, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they're throwing everything at the wall to see what will stick. But clearly the judge wasn't buying it, and the trial is going down. So let me scroll through a review of the evidence. They tried her as well. In review of the evidence, they tried her as well. But I think there was some commentary in there about that, about saying that there is no actual video surveillance of the assault or the alleged assault. That's one of the things that the defense attorneys have said that the prosecutors have pointed out is not true. It is a lot of he said, she said, a lot of jockeying by the attorneys. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this is all going to come out. I actually was watching a movie recently on Netflix, and Jonathan Majors was in the movie. I don't think he was the star of the movie, but he was in the movie. And I did not know that going into the movie. And my guess is that when they decided to release it on Netflix, they kind of downplayed it. But I think he's also in Loki. I haven't been watching Loki. I'm not the biggest Loki fan, but he's in Loki. I don't know. Some folks in here can comment on how his performance was in there. I've seen a few comments about that. So, all right. Let me read this. I'm reading some of the comments here. All right. I think I'm all caught up. All right. The next slightly controversial topic that I wanted to talk about is this one right here. If I can get my screens to work, it is this one right here. Gen V. It is Gen V. The Boys spinoff, Gen V, has been renewed for a second season at Amazon Prime. This show is the #1 show in like 130 countries. But let's dig into this thing. It says the Boys spinoff series Gen V has been renewed for season 2 at Amazon Prime Video. This news comes ahead of the season finale, which is due out November 3rd. The series began airing its 8 episodes first in September, expanding the universe of Boys with a series as bold as Gen V has been an incredible journey for us and our wonderful partners at Sony. This comes from someone at Amazon, the head of television at Amazon. From our first conversation with the showrunners, we knew Gen V would push the boundaries. Their unapologetic approach is exactly what audiences love, and it's helped Gen V become the #1 series on Prime Video in over 130 countries. There are a lot of people that do not like this show. There are people that say it is woke, it is pro that, it is anti that, it is too much of this, it is too much of that. What I really find fascinating is that this show's whole purpose is to be unapologetic, to push the boundaries, to push people's buttons. And it literally is doing that. It is literally pushing people's buttons on every side of every argument that is popular right now. This show has made everybody mad. And then there's like this huge group of people that just watch it for the entertainment that it is. And I'm one of those people. I just watch it for the entertainment value. Is there stuff in this show that I do not like? Absolutely. Is there stuff that I wish that they would not put in there? Absolutely. But I went into the show knowing that it was going to be aggressive. It was going to be in your face. It was going to bring to the surface all of the controversial stuff, because that is what the show is. And people are going into it and they're watching it and they're saying, I hate this, I hate that, it's pro this, it's anti that, on all sides. And that is partly how you know that it is a good show. It's a good show because it's intentionally pushing people's buttons. And I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating. It's like, it's a show, people. No, this is life to some people. So here's the thing. I did a reel and a short on this. My short on YouTube, as of earlier today, has been viewed by 147,000 people. It is, I do believe, the most watched piece of content that I have ever released. 147,000 views on this thing. And what's crazy is that I've been accused of all kinds of stuff in the comment section because people don't appreciate satire and dry humor. And so people are like, how can you not like the show? And I'm like, did you watch the whole thing? Because it's pretty clear that I watched the show. And it's like, people are mad at me because I released a reel knowing that I released my reel the day after the show released. And I knew after watching the first episode that certain people were well, not certain people, but lots of people on certain topics were going to hate this show. Sure enough, 147,000 views. I don't know how many negative thumbs down on there. I haven't looked at that, but I'm guessing it's a pretty high number because of what I said and or because of the content of Gen V itself. Really fascinating. I have never assaulted a woman, brother. I have never assaulted a woman. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Here's the thing. 147,000 views. Do you know how much money I made off of that? $4. That's how little money you actually get from content released on YouTube. I think it's like $4 or $5. It's crazy, but it's cool. It's cool that I have a video that is done that well, but it is really like it is like a couple of bucks, man. Who is that? Friends with Issues says best show ever. I will tell you, I think that The Boys is a better show. I personally think that The Boys is a better show, but I enjoy Gen V. There's stuff in there that I do not like, that I wish wasn't in there, but the show is intentionally pushing all of the buttons. Why would I get mad at a show that I know is designed to push people's buttons? It's just silly nonsense. It really is. I think my last video had 147 views total. I have no idea. Brother, I have those videos too. Let's be honest. Even to this day, I have videos that do not perform well. Wellbore says $4 is for. Well said, brother. Well said. It could be $0, right? Let's be completely honest. $4 is almost enough for a comic, almost without taxes. Well done, Philtastic. Bright side every single day. Frog Brawler's up in here. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Frog Brawler made a comment, and I can't remember what it was. It was a comment recently that just made me chuckle, and I actually told my wife what you said, and I thought she would get a kick out of it. You are, what is that? What? You aren't a YouTube millionaire? Man, there goes my dream, brother. Chump change, brother. It is chump change up in her. $4 for a cup. No, that's one cup of coffee, isn't it? I get a grande at Starbucks. That's like $3, isn't it? I think so. And don't try to go to, what is it, Blue Bottle. Blue Bottle's like $6, $7, something like that. Scrolling through the comments here. Shout out to Trev, Matt Woods, and also Frog Brawler. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys being members of the channel. $4. Man, YouTube takes a chunk, brother. Let me tell you, they take a chunk of it. So here, let me go to some comments real quick. I want to go to a couple of comments that people have left on videos recently. Here's one. So I did the original video, which has been reviewed, like I said, 147,000 times or something like that. And then I did a follow-up video where I announced that season 2 was coming. Somebody left a comment here 6 hours ago. This show, after reading IMDb, is just as vile and disgusting as The Boys. It just shows how amoral and ungodly this world has become. So there's a lot there, right? So I would say, yes, the show is vile and disgusting, just like The Boys, by design. That is literally what they were striving to do. So hats off to them for having a goal and living up to that goal, delivering against that goal to be vile and disgusting. I mean, people say that there's no good writers. Clearly, there are some good writers, because they just wrote a vile and disgusting show on purpose that is a massive success. #1 for Amazon Prime in 130 countries. That doesn't happen by accident. So hats off to them. It just shows how amoral and ungodly this world has become. The world has always been amoral and ungodly, and that's a shame. This show is no different from any other show or shock jock that has tried to purposefully be confrontational and controversial and in one's face. It is no different. These types of shows have existed for a long period of time. I remember my great grandmother saying, that whatever the popular show at the time was disgusting and amoral and ungodly. It is nothing new. Gen V, The Boys are nothing new. For better or worse, it just kind of is what it is, right? Yeah, I'm getting to that one, brother. I'm getting to that one. That is coming up. That is coming up. Stay tuned for that one. All right, so that was one comment. Here's another. This person says, this is the kind of video or show your parent sees and won't let you watch it without doing any further research. Absolutely true, because this show, like The Boys, is not made for children. I had somebody comment that this is a teen drama that is really only fit for people that are 16 years and younger. And I'm like, I would never let a 16-year-old or younger person watch this show because it is absolutely inappropriate for an adolescent mind. Unless you want them to be a degenerate, I would never let a kid. That's me. That's my parenting style. But yeah, this person is spot on. This is the kind of thing your parent sees and then it's like, I gotta go read some reviews on this. I need to ask a friend. I need to check out the trailer because this is not for children. There is no doubt about that. Not for children. All right. Next comment. It's the same as The Boys. If you couldn't tolerate the nudity and violence in The Boys, then don't watch this. Yes, that is so true. It is so true. And again, if you guys have not seen those shorts in the reels or whatever on Gen V, check them out and look at the comment section, because as entertaining as I might be, some of the comments are hilarious. Some of the people that completely miss what I'm attempting to do in the video, that just completely miss the point, those are some of the funniest comments. And I will tell you, I am all spit and vinegar in the comment section when people leave comments behind and don't really appreciate what I'm saying or misrepresent something. So you may enjoy a feisty version of Reggie in the comment section because I go in big. Another video that has received a lot of attention is the one that I did on Brie Larson and why people hate Brie Larson. So here's the thing. I created this video on Brie because I remember all of the well, let me back up. So I did the video because a lot of people were commenting on a video that I did on the Marvels. They commented that they wanted that movie to fail. And they commented that because they don't like Brie Larson. So I started thinking, I was like, well, why don't people like Brie Larson? Well, it's because of that thing that she said. And I will be honest, I didn't fully remember all the details of what she said. I just remember she said some stuff and people started to hate her as a result of that and started to wish her ill as a result. So I was like, well, what did she say? So I did a couple of Google searches. It took me like all of 5 minutes to find it. And she gave a speech back in the day. And so what I realized is that people were misrepresenting what she actually said. And you have a lot of people that hear the headline or they hear what somebody tells them, and that becomes the truth. So there are a lot of people that hate Brie Larson because of what they heard she said from someone else that may have heard from someone else. It's like the game of telephone. So my thought was, instead of letting the Marvels movie fail because people hate Brie Larson for all the wrong reasons, I was like, well, let's look at why people actually hate her. Let's put out there what she actually said and allow people to judge for themselves. So I watched the 8-minute speech. In this 8-minute speech, she basically had an inflammatory comment that she should not have made. Hard pause. She should not have made the comment. But her point in her 8-minute speech was, critics are important to the success or failure of a movie. Good critic reviews can do a lot for an actor and for a director and for a movie. It gives the movie a chance to be seen by a larger audience. It gives the movie a chance to be picked up and actually put into theaters. Gives them a chance to actually take a shot at winning awards. She spoke about the low number of non-white men that are the top 100 critics, if you will. And she cited the fact that Black women only represent 2.2% of the top critics. So if you have a movie that is targeting Black women, for example, a very small number of that target group is going to be able to review that movie, which in her mind isn't exactly fair. So she's like, hey, why don't you just add a couple more non-white men to the critics pool so that the movies have a fair chance of being reviewed by someone that is of that target group? That's essentially what her point was. And she didn't say, get rid of white men. She said, hey, add a few more non-white men to the pool and give them access to the movies. then she made the really stupid comments, right? And so the takeaway from what she said was Brie Larson doesn't want white people or white men to watch her movies. That was essentially the takeaway that a lot of people had. That's not exactly what she said. When you watch it, you hear her whole argument. Not only does she say, here's the problem, she says, here is a solution, which is unusual because most people just want to complain. Rah, rah, rah. This is bad. This is evil. She actually was like, hey, I looked at a study, just came out. Here's the findings of the study. I think we can do better. Here's how we do better. It was well done in her very awkward way. If you watch the video, you see how cringy she is at several points. And that's what I wanted people to see. Here is what she said. If you're going to dislike her for what she actually said, not for what you heard that she said. And this is all in service of pushing back on false narratives, pushing back on there are no good comics, there are no good movies, Hollywood isn't doing anything good. It is very much a continuation of things that I've been doing. I don't give a hoot about Brie Larson or about Hollywood. I care about comics, comic book movies, comic book collectors. That's what I care about. And so I was accused of defending Hollywood. Nope. I'm pushing back on false narratives that have people riled up over nonsense when it's inaccurate, right? So, wanted to throw that out there for people to check that out. Black box. What is that? What is that? Am I in the black box? All right. So let's look at a couple of comments. There was one. People think all content and films, etc., is for them. One can appreciate something while acknowledging they are not the target audience. People have issues understanding this for a reason. There's a person in the room that actually said that. There are movies that come out that are not for me. I'm very much okay with that because The Wheel in Time, I think that was the movie. I have no interest in seeing it. I have no interest in seeing any movie from Tyler Perry. I have probably no interest in seeing any movie that comes out from Oprah. That doesn't mean that they're bad movies. I am not the target. I have no interest. And if someone were to say you're not the target audience, I would shrug my shoulders and move on. Just like most popular music right now is not for me. My gangster rap comes from the classic hip hop station. All good music on that one. New music, popular radio? No, thank you. I am not the target. I am not the target audience. Fantastic. As my 9th grade math teacher, Dr. Wallman, said, no name, no shame, but you now have spoken up on it and you are the guy and you're spot on. It's okay if you are not the target audience. Who cares? Not everything is about you. Not everything is for you. Who cares? Move on. What was it? Stella got her groove back. Still haven't seen it. You know why? I don't want to see a woman lighting somebody's car on fire because my car has been keyed before. Some things are just not for me. It just is what it is. Right now, don't tell my coworkers to listen to Jadakiss' new album. Man, is it good or bad, brother? Busta Rhymes is coming out with a new album. I'm gonna probably get that one. I've been listening to never mind. I'm about to get down a tangent. All right, so there's another comment. This guy says he says what Brie Larson's comment was. He says, I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work about A Wrinkle in Time, says Brie Larson. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what it meant to women of color, biracial women, to teen women of color, If this was said by a man about a woman or white folks to black people, come on. And yes, I did watch the whole speech. The problem with that is that that's not exactly the way that it is, right? So what I would say to this is the comment was stupid. She should not have said what she said. Brie Larson is cringy. There's no doubt about it. She was attempting, I think, to be funny, to be cheeky, and it was bad. She should never have said it. But as an adult, can we set that aside and look at the core of what she actually said? Did what she say have merit? I think that it did. Again, Her comment should never have been said. And technically, if we want to compare it to something, it would be a black woman telling me, a black man, that a movie made for black women wasn't for me. I would shrug my shoulders and move on because I don't care. I don't need every movie to be about me. And again, if it's certain movies, I don't want to see it anyway. A Wrinkle in Time, I don't even know what the movie is because it wasn't for me. So I would never watch it. It's super simple. Not everything is about you. We should be okay with that. Another guy said, I don't want to watch any movie that has a woman as a lead. Bro, what do you have against women? I mean, not everything has to be for us. I wish that it were, but that's just not the way that life is. So anyway, I was jamming the Buster Rhymes. You can't do the clean. You can't do the, oh, you were with kids. You were with kids. I understand. I've been listening to For All the Dogs from Drake, because I do enjoy some Drake, and also Magic 2 from a man Nas. And I think Buster Rhymes has a new album out, so I'm going to be checking that out. Let me see. I'm scrolling through. Steve says, just sitting here looking at my foil variant of Wonder Woman #1 second print and realizing it is a Gem Lee cover, so bonus. That's what's up. Wellbore, opinions are like, here's the thing. I have no problem with people having opinions, nor do you, Wellbore. Nor do you. The thing is, at least let your opinion be based upon what was actually said and what the truth was. If you don't like Brie Larson because you don't think she's a good actress, I'm okay with that. Or because she made that stupid comment, I'm okay with that. But do not misrepresent what was said. At least go to the source, look at what was said, and decide if that is worthy of you being mad about. That is the question. There are some courses for impromptu speaking. Lots of people in the spotlight need to take them. Well said, brother. Her comments were super cringe. Like when you listen to it, she makes a comment about her friend that, depending upon how you look at it, was like a diss to her friend that just introduced her to give the award. To receive the award. So I'm not completely surprised that she's like cringy and said stupid stuff. I have been in front of audiences and said stuff that years after I said them, I still feel uncomfortable and sick to my stomach because of what I said. Nothing as cringy as what she said. Let's be honest about that. But sometimes you short circuit and you say stupid stuff. And I'm not trying to dismiss what she said. What she said was stupid. And I think she said, like in the speech 4 times, I don't hate white dudes. I think she said it like 4 times. And the takeaway of an 8-minute speech was Brie Larson hates white dudes and white people. That was essentially what was said. Let me see. Scorsese getting a lot of the same flack for his new film from the Native American community. Ty is just like Wu-Tang forever. Buster Rhymes is still going strong. The new Stones album is pretty good, says Milt. That's what's up. That Nas album was fire, says TMX. How old is Buster Rhymes? Man, hey, Buster is still fire, man. I wasn't the biggest Buster fan back in the day. There were other people that I enjoyed a lot more than him, but he's still, what was his last couple? Extinction Agenda. I have those. Extinction Level Event 2. I still listen to those somewhat frequently, man. I enjoy. Nas has been on a little bit of a tear. He's released a little bit of some music here. What is it? I have on rotation right now, Black Magic, King's Disease, and also Stillmatic, like right at the top. And I was never a big Nas fan back in the day. So, Reggie, what is that? Calling Captain Marvel 2 The Marvels is a huge marketing mistake. It should be Captain Marvel 2 The Marvels. So I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. You say that as if the name Captain Marvel carries some value that would make this movie more successful. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if simply changing the name is a big mistake, given that Captain Marvel is still right in the middle of the poster. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. And the challenge is we will never know the answer to that, right? Because you can release the movie and the movie not do well for lots of different reasons. Pretty high on that list is the fact that the box office still has not recovered from the pandemic. That's like a huge part, followed by the economy, followed by people not liking Brie Larson, followed by people not being quite happy with the quality of writing coming out of Hollywood. I don't know if I would say at the top of that list, impacting the success or the failure of this movie is what they named the movie. I don't know, as a marketer for probably 15 years, I don't know if I agree with that. Just being honest. And again, I don't even know if we can even ever test that. Didn't even know Nas had a new album dropping. Brother, that's the challenge, is that we are not the target audience for hip hop music anymore, right? I mean, like, that's literally the point. I don't know that we're the target audience anymore. There's albums that come out that I don't even know anything about. I'm not the target demographic anymore. Even for a Nas album, because we're like the same age, you would think he'd be like, yo, Reg, here's my new album. That's not the case. Same thing. Well, Drake's a little younger, but still, I've never actually said anything stupid. Don't ask my wife. Brother, let's talk about that S curl wig that you had on, where you were calling all the pimps and the players to support C3. Let's talk about that. You may not have said anything stupid, sir, but we got to talk about that wig. Scrolling through some of the comments here. Let me see. I think so what I will also say is that potentially by changing the name to the Marvels, that may actually open up the door to a lot more Marvels being introduced, which then opens up some spin-off stories, maybe on the TV show, maybe on the big screen. Because I think that that's the plan. It is to move beyond just Brie Larson and Captain Marvel to all of these other amazing characters that touch that name. I'm hoping, look at me, I'm hoping we get some Blue Marvel. If we get some Blue Marvel, I'm going to lose my mind. Blue Marvel is a dope character that I would love to see on screen. Scrolling through some of the comments here, I am super way behind on the comment section. Let me see. Wait, brother, you saw that wig. You saw that wig the same way that I saw that wig. And I watched it. I watched it a couple of times because it was hilarious. I just rewatched Dune 1. I just rewatched it and I was like, they need to bring Dune 2 out, because Dune 1 is just, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the books, because I read several of them, and I enjoyed Dune 1 on Netflix. I cannot wait for them to bring out Dune 2. There you go. This is why I'm excited. I'm personally excited for the Marvels, because I want the Blue Marvel. The rest of the Marvels, cool. I'm not a huge fan of any of those characters, just being honest. But Blue Marvel, if the Marvels gets me Blue Marvel, I am on board. Blue Marvel is dope. Such a dope character. Scrolling down, who is this guy? You, sir. We need to have a conversation. I'm teasing. Scrolling through some of the comments here, I am way behind on where we are. I'm like off track. I'm way over 1 hour. All right. So with that said, we're going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me just a little bit. Huge shout out to DJ Linx and all the folks that were associated with C3. You guys are honest to goodness heroes for what you guys have done. $51,180 and counting is an amazing goal to be able to deliver from the comic book community to the American Cancer Society. Everybody that was affiliated with this in any way, shape, or form should be very proud of themselves. All right. With that said, we're going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. As always, if you want to reach out to me, you can do so on Instagram at Regie Collects. Take care.
straight off meditation. We was concaving until we had that eternal dialogue that created our dialect. Now we in distinct rooms with pure souls having them conversations. Synergy and combinations. You flying, we waiting. Indian style in the gold temple of greatness. When you follow the North Star, you coming for the education. This is my audio book. These rhymes are just the imagery. More like an audiographic novel or a memoir about a young MC making timeless music with his mentor. I pray y'all grasp my letters. Nothing was meant to last forever.